Classification of corporate communication. Communication of step and persuasive communication. Communication of step. It belongs to the administrative area. Its aim is to provide relevant information with each step that must be followed during the course of a business. Example, communication, merchandise purchase or request, credit application. Persuasive communication. Your goal is to convince and act on the will and winning others to support the decisions. It requires a great argumentative eye for example, communication, reference on reports, advertising message, service offering. Internal communications and external communications. Internal communication aim at people working in the same company and move within the same or a branch. Types formal, communicating with content in an aspect of work, be letters, memos, and reports. Informal, communication, the content used unofficial channels such as couriers, cafeteria, example, letters, oral presentations, and reports. External communication. Communication adverse to person outside the company to read effect of the reputation and success of it. It also attracts customers and arouses interest in products or service. Favorable communication and unfavorable communication. Favorable communication. Nice information disclosed and that can only be useful or to be known. Line directly because they do not offer or cast a bad impression. Example, credit approval, congratulations, and promotions. Unfavorable communication. Disclose information that is adverse to the interest of the person and can affect you more negatively. Example, denial of various applications, layoff of feelings, warnings, negative ratings.
Once upon a time, there was an arrogant professor, PhD, masters, and all the qualifications you can imagine. One day he needed to cross a river. He went to the nearest boatman and asked him to get him across the river. "Hey, take me across the river, boatman."
Yes, of course, come on board.
So they started the journey across the river. As they were sailing, the professor wanted to show his intelligence, so he decided to ask a series of questions. He found a rock on the boat and showed it to the boatman. Boatman, you know what is this?"
Yes, of course, that's a rock.
"No, you ignorant. This is mineralogy, the study of elements around us. If you don't know this, then you have wasted 25% of your life. The bold man kept quiet and continued babbling. Once again, the professor pointed out some trees and greenery around them and asked the bold man, Bold man, do you know what those are?"
Well, those are trees and plants.
"No, you fool. That's geography, the study of lands, features, and phenomena of the earth. If you don't know this either, then you have wasted 50% of your life." They kept sailing in silence, and all of a sudden, they hit a rock and water started rushing into the boat. The bold man turned to the professor and said,
Professor, do you know how to swim?
and the professor replied, "No, I don't." So the bold man told him,
Then you have wasted 100% of your life.
and the bold man jumped into the river and swam away.
A similar story is presented when the corporate communicators went from the back room to the boardroom.
Here we have the CEO and the corporate communicator of a company. Here, son, I say what matters the most are three things: financial quarterly statements, investors, and sales.
Well, yes, our financial results matter, and so do our investors, but we have to take care of 5 different stakeholders as well. Our customers, the media, our employees, the government, and our community around us. And the way to understanding them well is to engage them in conversations by adapting to the many emerging platforms.
But keep in mind, words are words unless you have a meaning behind them. What drives any corporate communicator are the corporate values, which make your culture and identity. All of this gives you a brand and image, which help shape your public's view of your company, and thus your reputation. The driving factors being consistency of your corporate values.
Not knowing how to communicate will sink your company 100%.